to a mouse. We sleeketh, cowering, timorous beastie, oh, what a picnic's in thy breastie! Thou need nae start away sae hasty, with bicker and brattle. I wad be laith to rin and chase thee, with murder and pattle. I'm truly sorry man's dominion has broken nature's social union, and justifies that ill opinion which makes thee startle at me, thy poor, earth-born companion and fellow mortal. I doubt nae wiles, but thou may thieve, what then, poor beastie, thou maun leave? A Damien icker in a thrive, a smart request, I'll get to blessin' with the lave, and never miss it. Thy wee bit housie too, in ruin, it silly was, the winds are strewin', and nothing now, too big a new one. O foggage green, and bleak December's winds ensuing, baith snell and keen. Thou saw the fields laid bare and waste, and weary winter coming fast, and cozy here beneath the blast, thou thought to dwell till crash the cool coulter past, outdoor thy cell. That wee bit heap o' leaves and stibble hath cost thee mony a weary nibble. Now thou's turned out for thy trouble, but house or hold to thou the winter's steely dribble, and carneth cold. But mousie, thou art no thy lane, and proving foresight may be vain. The best laid schemes o' mice and men gang aft owgly, and leave us nothing but grief and pain for promised joy. Still thou art bleth compared with me. The present only toucheth thee, but ouch! I backward cast my eye on prospects drear, and forward though I cannot see, I guess and fear. To a louse. Ha! Where ye goin', ye crawlin' fairy? Your imprudence protects you sairly. I canna say but ye strunt rarely o'er gauze and lace, though faith I fear ye dine but sparely on such a place. Ye ugly creepin' blasted wanner, detested shunned by saint and sinner, how dare ye set your foots upon her, so fine a lady? Go somewhere else and seek your dinner on some poor body. Swith in some beggar's half-it squattle, there ye may creep and sprawl and sprattle, wi' other kindred jumping cattle, and shoals and nations, where horn nor bane ne'er door unsettle your thick plantations. Now haud you there, you're out o' sight, below the fatherals snug and tight. Na faith ye yet, you'll no be right, till ye've got on it, the vera topmost towering height o' Mrs. Bonnet. My smooth right bold, yet set your nose out, as plump and grey as unsy groset, for some rank mercurial roset, or fell red smedum. I'd give ye sich a hearty dose of it, wad dress your draughtum. I wad nae surprised to see you on an old wise flannin toy, or albinus some brawdy boy on while a coat. But Mrs. Fine Lunardy Fry, how dare ye do it? O Jenny Diana, toss your head, and set your beauties abread. Ye little ken what cursed speed the blastie's making. Thy winks and finger ends I dread are notice taken. O wad some power the gift ye gie us, to see ourselves as others see us. It wad mony a blunder free us, and foolish notion what airs and dress and gait wad lay us, and even devotion. Tam O'Shanter. When Chapman Billies leave the street, and drouthy neighbours meet, as market days are wearing late, and folks begin to take the gate, while we sit bowsing at the nappy, and getting foul and unco-happy, we think nae on the lying Scot miles, the mosses, water slaps and stiles, that lie between us and our hame, where sits our sulky, sullen dame, gathering her brows like a gathering storm, nursing her wrath to keep it warm. This truth found honest Tam O'Shanter, as he fair ire a night did canter. O Tam, hadst thou been sae wise as ta'en thy ain wife Kate's advice, she told thee weel thou was a skellum, a bletherin', blusterin', drunken bellum, that frae November till October, a market day thou was nae sober, that ilka melder wid the miller, thou sat as lang as thou had siller, that airy nag was cad a don a shoe on, the smith and the gate roaring fown, that at the Lord's house even on Sunday thou drank with Kirkton Jean till Monday. She prophesied that later soon thou would be deep drowned in Doon, ought capped with warlocks in the murk by Alway's old haunted kirk. Ah, gentle dames, it gares me greet to think how mony counsels sweet, how mony lengthened savage advices the husband frae the wife despises. But to our tale, a market night Tam had got planned unco right, fast by angle blazing finely, wi' remaining swats that drank divinely, and at his elbow Sother Johnny, his ancient trusty Dorothy Corney. Tam lo'ed him like a vera brither, they had been foul for weeks together. The night drave with sangs and clatter, and aye the ale was growing better. The landlady and Tam grew gracious, with secret favour sweet and precious. The Sother told his queerest stories, the landlord's laugh was ready chorus. The storm without might air and rustle, Tam did nae mind the storm a whistle. Care mad to see a man so happy, airing down himself among the nappy, as bees flee hame wi' ladies o' treasure, the minutes winged their way wi' pleasure. Kings may be blessed, but Tam was glorious, o'er the ills of life victorious. But pleasures are like poppies spread, ye sees the flower its bloom is shed, or like the snowfalls in the river, a moment white then melts forever, or like the borealis race that flit ere you can point their place, or like the rainbow's lovely form, evanishing amid the storm. Nay, man can tither time nor tide, the hour approaches Tam maun ride, that hour o' night's black arch the key stain, that dreary hour he mounts his beast in, and such a night he takes the road in, as ne'er poor sinner was abroad in. The winds blew as 'twad blown its last, the rattling showers was on the blast, the speedy gleams the darkness swallowed, loud, deep, and lang the thunder bellowed. That night a child might understand, the Deil himself had business on his land. Will mounted on his grey mare Meg, a better never lifted leg. Tam skleepit on thro' dub and mire, despising wind and rain and fire, whilst holding fast his guide blue bonnet, whilst crooning o'er some old Scots sonnet, whilst glowering around with prudent cares, lest bogles catch him unawares. Kirk Alloway was drawing nigh, where gaists and halters nightly cry. By this time he was crossed the ford, where in the snow the chaplain smored, and past the Burks and milky stain, where drunken Charlie's brackneck bane, and thro' the winds and by the cairn, where hunters found the murdered baron, and where the thorn abroon the well, where Mungo's mither hanged her shell. Before him Doon pours all his floods, the Dublin storm roars o'er the woods. The lightnings flash from pole to pole, near and more near the thunders roll, when glimmering through the groaning trees, Kirkalloway seemed in a blaze. Thro' ilka bore the beams were glancing, and loud resounded mirth and dancing. Inspiring bold John Barleycorn, what dangers thou canst make us storm. With Tippany we fear nae evil, with Obusque we'll face the devil. The squats say remed in Tammy's noddle, fair play he carried nae deals a bottle. But Maggie stood right sair astonished, till by the heel and hand admonished, she ventured forward on the light, and wow, Tam saw an unca sight. Warlocks and witches in a dance, nae coalition Brent new fae France, but hornpipes, jigs, strathplassies and reels, put life and metal in their heels. A winnock bunker in the east, there sat old Nick in shape a beast, a trowsy tyke, black, grim and large. To give him them music was his charge. He screwed the pipes and girts them skrill, till roof and rafters did drill. Coffins stood round like open presses, that shod the dead in their last dresses. And by some devilish cantrip slate, each in its cold hand held a light, by which heroic Tam was able to note upon the Haley table a murder's banes and gibbet errands. 'Twas Spainling we unchristened barons. A thief new cutted frae the rape, wi' his last grasp his gab did gape. 5 tomahawks with blued red rusted, 5 scimitars with murder crusted, a grater with Gabe had strangled, a knife a father's throat had mangled, whom his ain son o' life befret, with the grey hairs yet stacked to the heft, with mare o' horrible and awful, which even the name wad be unlawful. As Tammy glowered, amazed and curious, the mirth and the fun grew fast and furious. The piper loud and louder grew, the dancers quick and quicker flew. They reeled, they set, they crossed, they cleeked, till like a clare and swat and reeked, and coosed her duddies to the walk, and link it at in her sack. Now Tam o' Tam had they been queens, a plump and strappin' in their teens, their sarks instead o' creashy flannen, being snaw white 1700 linen, their breeks o' mine, my only pair, that aince were plush and o' glued blue hair. I wad hae gin any off e herdies for a blank o' the bonny birdies, but wither bledums old and droll, rig woody hags ween speen a foal, loping and flinging on a crummock. I wonder dinna turn thy stomach. But Tam Keen, what was for brawly, there was a wizen wretched and wally that night enlisted in the corps, long after Ken on Croddock shore. Her cutty sark o' Paisley horn, that while a lassie she had worn, in longitude though sorely scanty, it was her best and she was vaunty. I little keened thy reverend granny, that sark she scoff before her wee Nanny, with 12 pound Scots, would ever graced a dance of witches. But here my muse her wing maun cower, such flights are beyond her power, to sing how Nanny leap and flang, and how Tam stood ane bewitched, and thought his very een enriched. Even Satan glowered and fidgeted for fain, and hotched and blew with might and main, till first a capper snight another, Tam tint his reason altogether, and roars out, "Well done, Cutty Sark!" And in an instant all was dark, and scarcely had he Maggie riled, when out the hellish legion sailed, as bees bizz out with angry fright, and pounding herds assail their bike, as open pussy's mortal foes, when pop she starts before their nose, as eager runs the market crowd, when catch the thief resounds aloud, so Maggie runs the witches follow, with Moni and Elrich, Scarich and hollow. Ah Tam, thou getst thy farin, in hell they'll roast thee like a heron, in vain thy Kate awaits thy coming, Kate soon will be a woeful woman, now do thy speedy utmost Meg, and win the key stain of the brig, thereat them thou thy tail may toss, a running stream they dare nae cross, but ere the key stain she could make, the faint a tail she had to shake, for Nanny far before the rest had upon the noble Maggie pressed, and flew at Tam with furious ettle, but little wist she Maggie's mettle, a spring brought aff her master hail, but left behind her ain grey tail. The carlin caught her by the rump, and left poor Maggie scarce a stump. Now what a tale of truth shall read, ilk man and mother son take heed, where'er you drink you are inclined, or Cutty Sarks to ruin your mind, think ye may by the joys so dear, remember Tam O'Shanter's mere.